not supposed to be. You're covered under the press freedom law. So when you see journalists talking about press freedom, uh they are speaking for everybody. They're speaking for themselves. They're speaking for you, the ordinary people, to have the right to say your thoughts about issues in the country and all of that. So yeah, but we're beginning to see, I know it's just a detour, but we're beginning to see people derailing the path of ensuring that there is commitment to democratic tendency and tolerance for dissenting views, right? And all of that. But again, when we see actions happening, Austin, where it is being said that police have gone to execute arrest of an individual, and then we're not seeing anybody in a police uniform. At the same time, we're not seeing anybody identified as a sheriff, but yet they're claiming that they have a rate of arrest. Then you begin to wonder what style of governance we're practicing. Everybody has the right. If you feel injured by somebody, right, you have the right to go to court, but the procedure in the execution of that has to remain in conformity with our laws, right? And this is what we are saying. You have the right, but at the same time, the individual also has a right and protection under our laws. So why is a plainclothes guy had to be the one to go and effect the arrest? Assuming there was no camera to cover, who know what would have happened?
beating him.
Who know what would have happened? In the first place, they were not identified properly as Liberia National Police officers. They were in plainclothes. So when these people, because they have been on the hunt for the brother, and this is concerning. This is concerning to even the complainant. Because it is a dangerous PR for you, right? For people to start to believe that you're sending, talks. You're sending talks after people who you feel offended by. And this is unacceptable. It doesn't matter who you are. This is unacceptable. We ain't gonna sit down here and countenance these kinds of narcissist tendency in our country when we are supposed to be operating democratically. You have the right, if you have issues with any individual, right? You pursue the law, the path of the law, right? And then you go after the man, that's okay. But you send people in plain clothes. They are being so very, very intolerant. The young man is insisting that, my lawyers will have to be here to inform me or, assure me of what to do. Then you say, no, read the rate. Read the rate. What is that? Is that your training? In fact, why we not see the sheriff? Why would the sheriff go effect and arrest and they can't wear their uniform? Police officer can't wear their uniform. Assuming they were going to see that man somewhere else, what was going to happen to the people's son? Mr. President, this morning, you need to call your NPA managing director and talk this thing out, because I do not see why Foday should be subjected to arrest if it is not political. I do not see it, absolutely. I do not see how Foday will injure, the MD to the extent where he thinks Foday deserves to be in jail, and they're preparing attachment. So what is that? Just do the right thing. Nobody support anybody to assassinate other people's character when they do not have facts about it. But at the same time, let's do the right thing. Look at the timing. The timing, sir, is kind of alarming. When the guys have organized themselves, they're talking, and this guy is playing lead role and all of that. And Foday has been loud and vocal on a lot of folks in the government. And this is where you see sometimes when I give credit to Amos Tuer and people be like, Amos and I do not have any kind of personal, relationship and all that. But the young man carry himself in a way, in spite of his political views and his commitment to a unity party. But from afar, what I see, he still maintain camaraderie. The way he carry his politics is a little different. He might be extreme to some extent, but he's able to manage it in a way that no matter where you sit on the table, you still feel okay, talking to him and getting around and all of that. And this is what everybody has to adapt. One man that has similar attribute in the CDC side is Koji. You can be from the other party, you go, you criticizing the man every day, blah, blah, blah. You see the chance, you can talk. As young people, this is the new political dispensation that we must engender. Because at the end of the day, either we attended the same school, or we attended the same university, or we inside a social club together, something, then we can be extreme against each other. That's my thought. But we'll follow through, we'll follow up from here to know what are the issues, no matter what, they are civil matters, right? They are biddable offenses. So we're also going to observe what sort of behind the scene efforts will be made to want to thwart that. Then we know clearly that the intents are political.
You see, we're just talking about the tolerance of our democracy this morning in our intro, Abu. It was good that you brought this issue up. I don't know Sekou Tukle. I've not met him before in person. I've not even seen him. Physically, even on the program. I've not even seen him on the program before, right? But from the picture I've seen, I want to believe that he's a young man. I want to believe he's somebody of our generation, maybe 5 or 7 years between us or stuff. Or he should be someone of our generation, even if it's 10 years. The manner from which we are creating problems for our democracy is concerning. And it is because of these actions that we transfer or shift our criticism or our attention to the president, because of the behavior or the attitudes of most of the appointees in this government. Nobody finds pleasure in getting up in the morning only to come and criticize Joe Bwaka or criticize Unity Party. But the UP folks have consistently given us enough reasons to come here and chastise them. And all of our criticisms are justified or can be justified. I read one of a post from an apologist of the MD. This is a young man who consistently referred to others as rapist. This is a young man who has consistently referred to others as criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody went after him. Nobody took him to court. He still enjoys all his rights.
His freedom.
His freedom to move, to affiliate, to associate. Today, that very young man is on social media talking about that for the massacre. You will go to court, you will go to jail, in fact. He's already aware that Fodo will go to jail. So it means this is something that is staged, that was organized, that was played in the cycle to perpetuate, to effect. I don't know why people get so angered about speech.
And so young people.
I don't know, yes. The generation, bro. That's it. The generation.
So young people. I mean, I play score behind the generation to the lawyers behind, and then telling me, "Oh, you need to call the other." So young people. The generation. And I'm like, right? Because I know Sekou personally.
Where we hear that as a country? Where we hear that? And look, I say this to all government officials, including Sekou. Just add 3 more years to your age and see how old you will be. That's what I said to all UP officials. When we used to say these things to our own friends in the CDC, some of them used to see us as, oh, they are being, even they are equal to call it begin. Yeah? They are being by V no more. You get BR. You're too proud of what you say. That's how they call it. That's how they brand you. This is, I'm not seeing anything that has changed about public officials' conduct, their actions, their activities. Sekou, all the things you were doing before they started engaging or criticizing you, has anything changed about Sekou? How have Fode's words impacted Sekou's
and that's
work,
my thing.
impacted his ability, impacted his character,
your
his
contribution
reputation
to be can support the MD,
yes.
support the man, promote the man and stuff. When you sit on the MD, when you the very young man who carrying Sekou name, I don't call
you have attacked other people.
Attack other people. And I'm like, do you, I mean, you sit down and you think, oh yeah, And the lawyers are talking to me. They're saying this. I say, are you serious about that?
There comes in a question about leadership. Who is providing leadership here? Who is leading who? I should be able to sit down and disagree on ideology and be able to coexist. We don't have to agree. Sekou is supposed to play leadership here. You can have people who are your followers dictating or provoking these kinds of unnecessary actions. See the quotes. A lawyer tells me that there was no complainant based on the way they read the structure. He said there's no complainant, but there's a witness.
Yeah, no complainant.
A lawyer says that to me. A lawyer says, but look at the read. There is no complainant.
And when I called the lawyer told me that, I said, is this true that Sekou is pursuing Fode massacre? He said, no, it's the NPA.
The NPA.
That's what they told me. So it's the NPA. And so I was thinking about that.
Who's the head of the NPA?
Yeah, right? So, I mean, that you're trying to use the institution. So
which
are
is
you
wrong.
telling me the institution go for I mean,
an individual,
massacre?
Because the individual criticizes a government entity.
For the massacre? An opportunity you should use to educate and inform. You say, oh, so assuming he puts Fode in jail right now. So what changed?
Paveki goes to jail.
Yeah, what happens?
Well, I mean, how has that solve any problem?
Yeah, you just bring undue public attention to yourself, undue criticism, and then you create a picture in the head of the people about your personality that probably is not. And this is my disappointment in Sekou. This is my disappointment. Why you want to go after Fode massacre?
Because somebody tells you to go after him.
Because Fode
criticize NPA.
Fode criticize you or criticizes the NPA.
Joseph Boakai Jr. is being linked to job bidding in the country. He's going after everybody.
Exactly. So, and let me say this to Sekou. Look, I believe a lot of folks may be behind the scene and telling you, oh yeah, go for it, do it. But remember, this is Liberia, this is politics, right? Have you asked yourself, just before this action, did you ask yourself, why is it the same criticism that Fode has directed at me, he has directed it at the police inspector general, or Aji Kumo has now gone for him?
Yes.
Have you asked, he has directed it multiple times at Tantan Boakai, right? At Jojo Boakai. Nobody went after him. You think the people don't feel injured?
But right? They know that they occupy a public office.
An office, because of that office. So you can go after every barking dog. And you know, every sound you go after. Your own president said that he will not choose to every dog that barking passing.
Lieutenants are choosing.
Right? But then you, a young man, energized by the disappointment and frustration in leadership, and is speaking just to be heard.
Yes. That's all.
Speaking just to be heard. And then you criminalize that.
That's all.
And people give you applause. I'm not going to give you applause for that. This is a slip. This was absolutely unnecessary. And you must withdraw these lawsuit, because no matter how you put it, right? This is political. The intention is to politically silence the man, is to persecute him. And it's unfair. The very young people you're working with that have accepted to work with you, do you know how many times they have slandered other people here in this country? Do you know how many times the likes of McGill, Koji, and others were slandered by these UP apologists?
And those guys are in government.
These guys are there.
Are still attacking officials with former
officials. Almost 3 years. The government in its entirety has not proven one of all of the claims that they levied on individuals here. The beauty of democracy, the beauty, people out of frustration, they make opinions on issues, informal opinions on issues, right? Because they want to be heard. We must be tolerant enough in our democracy to understand. And one law enforcement, expert told me that, look, it's not almost all the time the statement the person is making or the threat that they're issuing. But you must be able to establish the potential in the individual, right, to implement the action. Once you see that, then you go for it.
That's how law enforcement
But
officers look at.
a frustrated man on the sidewalk, it's just like sometimes you get some mad men, right? They can just be cussing people.
Yeah.
One time it has one man, I think Taylor Turner used to be cussing the president.
What's the name?
Right? So you say, oh, the man, you go catch that man, you put in jail. What do you get from that? And they say, we'll do that one year, we'll break the other one down, blah, blah, blah. What cost that? They didn't say. You burn it. The Sony down, the airport down. Obviously, people were intelligent to say that they may get a capacity to burn the airport. So why are you going to arrest them, man? But that statement is inflammatory. There are provisions in the law that you can apply to hold that man. But you got to be, sensible, say, well, man, yeah, angry man talking. And then I used to let Mr. say, when Mr. Say used to say this thing, noisy minority, and thing is to just dilute all that thing and say, oh, let governance continue. And they are not say minority. Yeah, the politician can run with A and blah blah. But at the end of the day, they say, oh, let dilute the thing. But you say, nobody will say they won.
The President Barack will say, "Eli with them."
Yeah, Eli with them.
We criticize it, but
but at the end of the day, if the president
expands all our democracy.
Exactly. If the president adapt that posture, he gets angry. He start issuing all kind of statement, and start bringing people some way. Radical element in the government will start use that to start targeting people.
Yeah.
Or say leave with them. You see, technically, it diluted the emotion of his people.
Yes.
Oh, the president said, yeah, and yourself started printing t-shirt now, and it became fun, and everybody moved past it.
That's how democracy is supposed to operate.
So if you say everybody that say X, that person will go to jail.
Then.
Contrary to a commitment the president made, and when Charlie posted it, Austin, let me just read a piece of it for us. And this is what we want. This was the president's commitment. Right? Say Liberia will have no political prisoners, no press suppression. President Bouakai. In fact, the environment at which it happened, is bad for the government image.
Somebody makes an appearance on a radio station.
While leaving the station, then you go there, you arrest the man.
He's not
so
absconding.
Technically,
he's not
arresting the man for his opinion on the radio. This is bad, and you're gonna put the man. Your apologies are saying the man will go to jail, despite the criticism and spread of this or dissemination of negative propaganda by some media institutions against the government. President Bouakai Sr. has said Liberia will have no political prisoner and there will be no press suppression under his administration. It's not limited to Abu Sharif, Austin Kawa, Khan Oliver Khan, and the others. Even activists deserve press freedom. Advocates deserve their rights to be protected. But you say your government, you got to go for everything when you put for it in jail now. So the questions about the $19.2 million cocaine, are they going to go away? No. So you just put the government into another Pandora. Let's see the next human rights and press freedom update that will come. See whether for the issue might not even be highlighted. You remember during the CDC time, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a situation that happened. Imagine our friend, the little children that was friendly. Then something happened on Ashmore Street. It was a situation, and then the police went there, they arrested children. That don't work with Fabric, they arrested children. And there was a human rights report that came.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Children case got mentioned.
Yeah.
Children name was highlighted. And this is exactly what you. So some of you in the government, you gotta look at some of these things. For the young people will always be there. The government move, another government can you find another group of young people. Yeah, that's true. Right? And party absorb almost all the OO soup men out there and new beginning and come out. And after the government, another group of people will come back in soup. You can arrest everybody and put them in jail. Leave the children, let the children have their freedom to talk. That's what I think, right? We'll follow through. We'll do what we can, support the process, get a young man free, and he be out there while the process go on. And so that's what it is.
So I was basically saying to Sekou and all of those who may be connected to him, the best thing he could do for himself, I'm told he has political ambition. I can imagine how he intends to deal with all of the criticisms from the young people in Bomi County, especially so he wants to be Senate, I'm told. Bomi is hostile to him politically. If you think we lie, talk to Eric Starr, talk to Edwin Snow.
Why I wonder?
They will tell you about Bomi hostility of Bomi's politics.
Bomi?
There are radical men in Bomi. They're not into the moral politics. They are there. So I don't know how he intends to deal with all of those issues. So you have many persons going to jail. And you see, the reason why most public officials are cautioned. We say people should just wake up in the morning, just cause you or make outlandish, comments or statements against your person or whatever. But there's a key word in democracy, which is a fundamental pillar of democracy. It's called tolerance. If that is lacking, you are doomed for failure. You can't be intolerant and you want to be a Democrat. You can't. The two don't work together, don't go together. You want to be called a Democrat or you don't want to be tolerant. You must. If you must be called a Democrat, you must be tolerant. And I see it lacking in most union officials. You get a chance, they will jail people every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day they will jail people. Every day. Every day. Now, for me, I'm concerned about the manner in which Foley was being arrested. And I think the police will have to provide some clarity, or the Joint Security or the Ministry of Justice must speak to this. Already around the 19 million drug thing, the report which will come to that appears to be classified confidential, which the executive marshal is denying. We see individuals being identified as LD officers, in some cases wearing uniform, who the report consider not to be DA personnel officers.
So the raid is out. Is the NPA actually?
So yes,
Sekou.
So,
but he's the head now, of course.
So the question is, I mean, the raid says all security or joint security officers can effect the arrest if Foley is seen. But to be considered a security officer, the procedure is you must firstly approach the suspect, identify yourself. You can't act outside the raid. The raid say if the man is arrested, turn him over to the court. If he's arrested after when the court is closed, turn him over to the nearest police station. That's what the raid says. The nearest police station was not Central.
It was the Tobo Village police station.
That's not Central. So under whose authorization was Foley transferred to Central? As we speak, Foley does not even know the names of officers that arrested him because they were not in uniform.
They didn't even identify
themselves. So they had a raid passing around.
Follow just share.
He on radio. Y'all go there.
Okay, yeah, y'all go there.
He comes outside and engaging. They are raid. No, that's not how you serve raid. Nobody serves raid without fully identifying his or herself. You're supposed to fully identify yourself. Even if the man is not pleased with your identification, display your ID card.
It's a whole government thing,
yes.
Because if you read the raid, right, Austin, they said the plaintiff is the Republic of Liberia, by and through the National Port Authority, represented by the managing director, right? So they gotta get it. It's a whole state thing. So it's like the whole
communal cohesion.
Yeah.
and menacing against NPA.
So
Terroristic.
technically, from what I see, it's like Sekou volunteered to be the man in front, and everybody will single file behind him.
You see, let's take our time and see. Let me see what the
Yeah.
narrative looks like.
They read the narrative.
Yeah.
It's only like
In which it is substantially alleged as follows to wit. The Ministry of Justice, by and through the private prosecutor of the city of Monrovia, appears before the honorable court, complains upon oath, and says that on Sunday, June 28, 2026, the within named defendant herein with malice. Now going to lose a case involved.
yeah, with malice.
How you establish malice?
Emotional.
You have to establish malice. Now let's see. So with malice, wicked intent, and without any lawful justification or color of right whatsoever, purposely, intentionally, and unlawfully published and caused to be published on the social media platform Facebook, setting false and injurious statements concerning the private prosecutor. I did publish on Facebook saying, breaking news.
As a private prosecutor.
Breaking news. There is a current allegation that the Freeport of Monrovia is used in the cocaine business.
There is a current allegation. Allegation.
There is a current allegation that the Freeport of Monrovia is used in the cocaine business today. Today, we will unveil Sekou Dougle and Peter King, in parentheses, 19 plus million cocaine keeping partnership. Say in quotation, said publication was viewed and circulated by members of the public and attracted approximately 1,000 comments and other interactions, thereby giving widespread publicity to the false allegations contained therein, and thereafter defendant proceeded to the private prosecutor of involvement. I get it. Proceeded to conduct and participate in a press conference during which defendant falsely accused the private prosecutor of involvement in criminal activities, repeatedly mentioning the name and making life-threatening statements circulated to expose him to public hatred, ridicule, disgrace, and have caused the private prosecutor for fear of life and damage of property, increase his security, and limited his movement in public places for fear of their lives based on the public sentiment and threats made by the defendant, as well as placing his life in serious fear and danger by portraying him as being connected to criminal activities. So you see, son, they use NPA to push Sekou Dougle's case. From the beginning, they say that Sekou man made allegation against NPA. Then they say Sekou Dougle. They start referring to Sekou Dougle. How they say Sekou Dougle laugh, feel threatened. Not an entity.
Yeah, but how can
not an entity's reputation?
How can a fully the Sekou I know? How can a fully pose life-threatening danger to Sekou? How can Fully has the capacity to even shake Sekou a little bit? But again, the smart people know exactly where this is coming from, and I think this is coming from way even beyond Sekou, and this is a consensus to silence and target the young man. And so apparently Sekou appears the man who's willing to,
to play the role of the hero.
So yeah, so he goes in, like you rightly put it, you gotta know, like we said, this is politics, and you have an eye on something. Once you decide to throw yourself in there will be conversations, there will be issues and all of that. So you make sure every action you're taking, right, you do all of the calculations, right, in line with your political, projections.
But even Sekou has a record of accusing Jefferson Chelsea of being a rapist.
Yeah. So if all of us
So
start,
imagine everybody just start going to court for statements made on social media.
And the young man said,
then the court will start denying so those in the opposition and start accommodating those in the government.
Yeah.
They will expose the weakness.
So technically,
and compromise of the court.
The only people that's not supposed to be accused are people in government.
Yeah.
When we're not in government, everybody has the right to
accuse
throw any allegations, any accusations. They can say anything. How many times we were even accused here? To the point now, today, some of the things they said we have, when you see the car they used to put on social media, they say we own it. Today, where are the cars? We're riding old cars in our cars.
Our names are on NSA payroll.
NSA payroll.
They're in government. They are yet to identify our names on government payroll.
All those ones. But at the end of the day, we're going to waste our time and say, because that's endangerment of our safety. If we start to say things in the midst of poverty and anger, you start to project us as people who are benefiting to an extent that we are not, right? An angry man out there, when he sees any of us, they could get, able to attack us physically.
Mm-hmm.
You did that to some of us. We didn't pursue you. Nobody pursued you. You all that clapping your hands because of the crumbs that you're benefiting. But life has a way of turning around, and we see.
An experience, right? During CDC was in power, there's a junior brother from Banja who went to Facebook and accused me of sending NSA people to his house.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. He went to Facebook.
So they even used to say we get going off.
Somebody shared the post with me. I reached out to him and he was very insolent. So I decided to disengage. Years after, last month, I went Cape Man for Muadi's mother's 70, and I met him. He's now a son with the new deputy minister of internal affairs. What they call name? The new one who couldn't defend government.
How you call Fatima?
Fatima. So I saw him toting Fatima's back. I saw him alive.
Just going one or two back.
So I asked him. I said, "Anything officer now reach your house?"
Yeah, beginning yes, talking.
Then he started laughing. I said, "It's funny now, right?" He laughed and he laughing, but who's showing anything, and I walk away. But
you know how many people he made to be
NSA people behind us, and they exposed other people's job because Mario Simpson was at the NSA. He owned the radio station then, and so he do his job and his family were exposed. His profession. Because everybody would say that Simpson giving the NSA people some NSA people giving them guns.
Exactly, that was it.
Yeah. So these things
we were all lost.
Yes, we experience all of these things. There are many people or officials of government who experience these outlandish allegations. Marketing were billionaires and millionaires around Jeba, people of Ghana. Nobody bother going to court.
They make a $1 billion.
How come today somebody say it is alleged, it is believed, and you get vexed, and you go to court, and the best solution is for him to go to jail. Even before he goes to jail yesterday, he spent the whole July 26 there. You still release him. What do you benefit? People, somebody say he should focus on the Senate. Somebody say the decision the Senate took, they made angry that they made, so they made transferring the aggression or the anger to for the massacre.
Yes, I said we didn't have conversation that we're going to talk about that whole Senate stuff.
Yeah.
These are the real issues that all of you that are supporting Sekou, there with
should be talking about.
And, should be focusing on researching, getting things, to really, contribute to the debate.
And you're chasing somebody who say it is alleged.
Okay, go put Sekou, go put it in jail because it's allegations that he has.
It is, and Foday is a spokesperson for tomorrow's protest. So obviously, it is clear that the government wants to silence him. And the police, let's read it, then we can transition. LMP clarifies traffic enforcement action involving vehicle use to publicize planned protest. And this was issued on yesterday. The Liberia National Police, which is to clarify reports concerning a vehicle being used to publicize an upcoming protest. The LNP states that the vehicle was stopped by traffic officers after it was observed to have apparent mechanical defects that raised road safety concerns. Following inspection, the vehicle was determined to be unfit for continued operation on public roads. The action was based solely on the defective condition of the vehicle and public safety considerations. It was not connected to the planned protest and was not intended to interfere with the organizers or their activities. The NNP reaffirms its commitment to protecting the constitutional right of citizens to peacefully assemble and demonstrate in accordance with law. At the same time, all vehicles operating on public roads are required to comply with applicable traffic and road safety requirements. The LNP encourages the public and media to verify information before circulation and remains committed to supporting the peaceful, safe, and lawful demonstration. So the LB issued is we hope to we are going to identify the owner or owners of the vehicle. We'll list with Chairman Model to do that, and we'll get the vehicle information. And after the protest, we'll see whether the vehicle is parked, or is lying in the street or not in the same condition.
So I mean, technically, you and I know that the intent was to
it's clear.
sabotage the
protest, the
publicity, right? This vehicle has been operating long for they stand folks hire it for this purpose. So, but it is only now that traffic officers identify defects and they're raising it. And I think you are letting your panic to come full glare. You're allowing the country to see that you're panicking already. You've lost your mind, and this thing is taking a toll on you. Because the different actions you keep taking is further telling the people that you've lost your focus. Why are you going for Mamadi Chok? You say, Mamadi Chok been running around here, you say get tired problem. But remember, they see Mamadi Chok, you use it, you buy around here, you run campaign, you're dancing the poo water, see Mamadi Chok there, it break down the men and bring the fuel, they connect, they pour on it, they pull it on, it carry you. This is our country, right? So we all know exactly what it is. And then when you start to take actions like these, then the people know that the intent of your action is to suppress. And this is the optic that you have to cease caring, or, portraying about the government. You're not doing well in constructing the image of the government in a way where it gives kind of support to your arguments in real places where you're projecting that, we're a decent government, responsible government, but you say one thing and your actions are showing another thing. It's just like listening to the RG's press conference yesterday. You're making press conference and then you're being propagandistic. You're hallucinating about this, that, blah, blah, blah. And then the next moment, you unveil substances you say you arrested. But imagine this RG and this police goes to a legitimate scene of protesters producing things like that. There was no video. There was no coverage. There was no news about that arrest scene. But only when the police RG is prepared to address the media, that's when they pull this thing up and say, that the thing were arrested. Where you arrested them, who you arrested them from. And then you stage somebody to say there's a prime suspect. I mean, we are not kids in the country now, right? So this kind of operation, sabotage operation, when you do it, people are able to determine, people are able to know strictly that, this is what you're up to. And you understand?
Yeah.
So I mean, you just have to something. There was some brilliant commitment you made. And these are the commitment we're going to hold you by, especially the caution to the police officers. exercise restraint. Look, this thing maybe will be for just a few hours and the guys will go back. Exercise restraint, right? True law enforcement is not just about the naked enforcement of the law. They say what's on the board, the law says this is enforcement. But you see, restraint is a part of the exercise of law enforcement. Because in a given instance, if you identify an infraction or you exercise restraint, you are preventing something from occurring at that moment. You've done well. You've saved the moment. But no, a lot of you will not do that. Apparently, when the guys are, upbeat like that and they're going up and down, and then you give an instruction, you say, "Oh, move," and the man doesn't move. You say the man has disobeyed lawful instruction. You start throwing tear gas. Sometimes this can be the problem. So, it boils down to the actions and attitude of the police. And if this is the actual instruction that the IG has given from what we heard on yesterday, then that's the good. Yeah. So now we as the media will be watching the officers because potential violation. Exactly. The instructions have been given. So now we know, unlike before, we don't know the instructions. You just come in the school, we see the places. But this was excellent. Aside from the propaganda side of it, right? So we're watching now, we already know the instruction that the IG has given to you, the officers. So as we're watching the play, we're seeing what you're doing and all of that. And you're expected to exercise restraint, professionalism, and respect human rights. The way you treat protesters, the way you handle them, and all of that covers under human rights. So you must be cognizant of that.
And this is not only physical. Even the verbal exchanges between
exactly.
The first thing officers going to that protest tomorrow should bear in mind that angry people, that displeased people, that dissatisfied people going to protest.
So you can go provoke them.
Thank you. So all of you, the officers, bear in mind that you're going to provide shield or guidance for angry citizens. The citizens are clear that they are angry and displeased over the performance of the government. Mm-hmm. It means they are angry, they vex because they can get quality education that was promised in 2 years plus, 3 years running. They are angry that they go to the hospital, JFK, the maternity center that used to be free of charge. Today they pay money and compare to pay to make deposit before they give birth or before they are admitted. Even when they are admitted, they are made to buy medicine outside medication in the hospital. They are angry that they cannot get water, safe drinking water, that LWSC seems slow to provide water for them, safe drinking water. They are angry that transportation fares have increased. They are angry that gasoline price has increased. They are angry that rice price has increased. They are angry that basic necessities, the prices have all skyrocketed. So bear in mind that tomorrow's protest is to express their anger, their grievances to their government that they elected. So you don't expect to see Bible totals or Quran holders tomorrow in the protest. Mm-hmm. Those are angry people. Let's be clear about that. The angry people are going mad tomorrow. So they are angry. That's why you should be tolerant. You should exercise extreme restraint. Like I actually told you yesterday. I saw officers during the last protest insulting the protesters. Using 4-letter words. Yeah, on the side. All the kinds of fire. So you provoke the people already angry, then you start insulting them, you start pushing them, you provoking them.
The officers can be the one throwing insults.
Yeah. So you provoke the already angry. The man left behind and said, "Me, I'm leaving my house because I am angry with my government." He's angry. He's vexed. He wants to lead the country to his expectation, or you leave the country for somebody to take over. They clear up their intentions. So you, the officer, now you are under obligation to ensure, to help the government, to help the president to manage that emotion, to manage that tension tomorrow. The Minister of Justice will not be there. The Minister of Information will not be there. The police is going to represent the entire government tomorrow at that protest. Anything you do tomorrow, will reflect the official position of the government, will reflect the image, the reputation of the government in the office of the president. Because no government official will be down there tomorrow to say your go to your parcel. That you will be there, police officers representing the entire nation. That anything you do, the IG will have to go justify it, either in joint security meeting or to the US embassy or to their foreign partners. Don't go down there with anger tomorrow because you're cool to get vexed. Especially PSU and EIE meaning. Didn't get patient, they could get angry.
Anything that will screw up tomorrow will be one of them.
I'm very sure. If you ask me to predict, I can predict tomorrow that one PSU or EIE officer will mess up with it all tomorrow. I can tell you that for sure, for a fact. So you have to exercise restraint tomorrow. We are coming out tomorrow. For me, I will be at the protest. Yeah, I will be there. So we're coming out tomorrow. People that are coming tomorrow are people who are displeased with the performance of the government. So let's understand that fact and allow the people to exercise, to express their grievances to the government. The Abu said, we hope the government will come out tomorrow to receive the petition, if there is, waiting petition and receive it. If they just want to come and force their expression to you, it should be welcome.
And the government and it will be a good thing because all of the time the people have done, you have declined to honor their petition.
And not forgetting that 20,000 person may you.
Yeah.
Can you call me?
Look, those
some people will be a protester tomorrow as people who voted for you.
Mm-hmm.
There are some who voted for you.
And right now, those radical extremists around the president need to understand that the president is the president. Nobody can change
that fact.
Nothing's going to change that.
Just govern.
And you're president
leadership.
For all. This thing what you're doing, you're not made the president to look like he only president for your who will green or your who are bootlicking is not helping him. Because at the end of the day, right? Only one voting card you get.
Yeah.
Like every other person.
Equal.
Right? So and those evil witch or think that y'all can want, they person, we all be there. So tomorrow, if the goal and the prayer have always been to eliminate all of us, we'll be there. And then come and do that and let's see what happens. What has not happened in the war? There was Hitler. Feared that he could eliminate the Jews. Today, the Jews are the world's most powerful.
Yeah.
Today, the Jews are the world's most powerful.
Influential people, of course.
There were lots and lots of attacks on Arab Muslims across the world. But the more you attack them, the more they're growing, the more they're expanding. These things should be teaching moral lessons. That hatred doesn't solve the world problem. You can hold all of the hatred in your heart. It's not going to answer the deal. Constructive engagement. You see, every time we come here, we provide counsel, we provide, education for the folks in government, and you are so intolerant to accept it. Because when you have power, it's so pressure. There is a cartoon that I'm very vested in recently with the Animal Kingdom thing.
Do we want to talk on you? Let me get in. And
I encourage us to follow that cartoon and see power play. Lion was the leader. Then an election was held. Lion lost the election, but Lion cabinet remains intact. And the constitution says he has 90 days to transition power. He does not want to transition power. He's using that 90 days to unpopularize the Dragon King and all of those. So just fun. You see scenario and pictures of what is happening in real life and what is here. So handle power responsibly, handle power with care, respect other people, treat them with dignity. Tomorrow when you go to Bombing County, you want to be a senator there, you will need the vote of people who subscribe to CDC, ANC, and others. So I'm sure at some point we'll have the lead organizer of the tomorrow protest, or Chebe Molu, to weigh in
I'm trying to call
right?
him.
So he has signaled that already. So once
Okay.
we get him,
Yeah.
and then we can hear
Especially on
from
the
him
especially on
on
the 40
this
the
footage
40
thing,
views there.
and tomorrow, like somebody said, and I think it's a good thing. Let Chimamanda, use the other means to see how we can secure for this release, but it could be a bid, right? Could be a bid, and then once he comes around, and once you, whether rightfully or wrongfully, who the protest lead organizer, you could do it, and then the protest will lose, and the essence. But in some cases, when you do that, in fact, it can ignite even more catastrophic reaction. Well, what did Louis
So I
Brown say?
see Yanti is reporting. Let's play what Louis Brown. Let's play exactly what Louis Brown has said. Okay.
We reiterate our strong steadfast
Y'all got read it again. Did I get all got statement to read again?
Quite a reading and
steadfast and unwavering support for the court as an independent and impartial judicial institution. We reiterate our strong commitment to upholding and defending the principles and values enshrined in the Rome Statute, safeguarding integrity against any threats or actions aimed at the court, its officials, or its partners. Such actions are counterproductive to our shared goal of ensuring accountability for the most serious crimes, promoting the rule of law, and fostering lasting respect for international law, including international humanitarian law and international human rights law. I think fast.
So yeah.
As an independent and impartial judicial institution, we impartial judicial steadfast and unwavering support for the court. As an independent and impartial judicial institution, we reiterate our strong commitment to upholding and defending the principles and values enshrined in the Rome Statute.
must we pour our more into everything? So
Go to the room statue, right?
yeah, but you want to go to the room, Daniel?
Go.
So I try to search out where this is coming from. There was a recent comment made by the U.S. President Donald Trump on the action, on about the RCC, the International Criminal Court.
Yeah.
So the Trump administration have held its own views about the RCC and what have you. But this is what I found. So the Trump administration is in the middle of its most aggressive campaign yet against the International Criminal Court. This is how it's described. The position of the Trump government towards or about the RCC, how they view and see the RCC. Trump himself, right, has been very clear and projecting issues of sovereignty and America first.
Yeah.
Not willing to subjugate America's sovereignty to any other body. Right? So the administration is quoted as calling for the dismantling of the RCC brick by brick. On Monday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio vowed to use all the tools at our government's disposal to dismantle the RCC brick by brick if necessary. He accused the court of waging a war against our country, the U.S., not with bullets or missiles, but with statutes, compacts, and the force of so-called international law. Right? This is the world's greatest powers position. And this is Marco Rubio, right? The sovereignty threat framing. The State Department announced a sweeping campaign saying the RCC poses an intolerable threat to U.S. sovereignty. The goal is to systematically disable the RCC's ability to operate, target American servicemen or officials.
Yeah. And we should emphasize, we should also indicate that there have been mounting pressure and calls and allegations too against the U.S. actions, including the recent, the ongoing, in fact, you say,
Yeah.
U.S. action in the Iran and all of that. So they're accusing the U.S. of
And they see that as
committing
yeah.
genocide, international crimes, and war crimes. So the ICC will definitely be used to prosecute key actors. In fact, there are complaints against Donald Trump as a president, sitting president to the ICC. People before believe that he should be prosecuted for committing war crimes.
And the administration in Washington believes that they should be immune from this.
Yes.
And the servicemen should be immune no matter what. Nobody should subject them to whatever.
As a matter of fact, they're not even a member of the International Court, Criminal Court. They're not even a member. Now, our small little country here, where they just denied 24 of our members going for visa to go play football.
Yeah.
They finish denying all visa. They place a lot of visa restriction, immigration, screening, and all of that. We might go take statement and say going to read.
Are you the spokesman for ICC? ICC can't talk for us, eh? Then when they go deny people visa, and you say, oh, they're not government get nothing to do with it, this, that. These are the actions. Like, bro, you gotta listen. These are the actions that can be taken. Then when it reflect on you and us, then say, oh, the government get nothing to do with it, that American policy, that this, that, this, that.
Okay, so this is how I summarize it. So America said we don't support, we're doing everything to dismantle, to disintegrate the strength or the cohesiveness of the court to ensure that they don't target American servicemen. Declare that we will do everything possible within our power and our capacity to dismantle, disintegrate, to weaken the strength and cohesion of the International Criminal Court, to ensure that the court does not stand strong to target American servicemen. Our ambassador, our permanent representative to the UN goes to the public, officially reads a statement disagreeing with the U.S. position. The U.S. will disintegrate the court. Liberia say we stand firmly with the Rome Convention. The Rome Convention establishes the Rome Statute is a treaty that created the International Criminal Court, and it provides a legal framework to prosecute individuals responsible for genocide, for crimes against humanity, for war crimes as Taylor is in jail today, and for crimes of aggression. The U.S. stands accused of all of these crimes. Louis Brown say he's staying with the International Criminal Court against America.
Even America is not even a part of the ICC. Yes, from the beginning, Bill Clinton signed, but when you sign this international treaty, it has to be rectified.
Yeah.
The Senate did not rectify it. And then I think in 2002 or somewhere there about the American one of the Bush, notified UN that look, we're not part of the ICC thing.
Because in 2002 it came into force. Yeah. Because 1998 the proposition came and then it took effect in 2002. So Bush said we're not part of that thing.
Now
imagine America saying we'll do everything to disintegrate.
Yeah, disintegrate. That has strong influence people are about their position.
Then like saying we stand with the people that you want to disintegrate.
What you want proof? You living on government job now, you getting government salary and things, right? You saying now, or you on your cover of diplomatic coverage. But other people here, they're vulnerable. They're seeking means and opportunity. The Liberian DED resident down there, their status are threatened, right? Some of these comments could expedite the deportation.
You see, we're crying we're crying in this country for to be known. And we said we campaign, in fact, for a membership to the UN Security Council. we have a slot at the UN Security Council. These are sensitive security matters that need to be carefully looked at from our national security priority standpoint and from the diplomatic standpoint, considering primarily our relationship with partner. We have our traditional partners. You can't continue to say America is a traditional ally. Diplomatically, you go put to the public and say we disagreed publicly with America's stance on a particular issue. That is highly undiplomatic.
You're putting the country against America.
That's all you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing. At times you abstain from some of these things. You're not forced to vote. You're not forced to support everything that comes before you. That's why I don't know what. I don't even want to ask the question, because asking this question as a student of diplomacy to be asking whether the permanent rep consulted the foreign minister will be will not be a smart question, because our foreign minister is supposed to be consulted on everything. Liberia's position, Louis Brown is supposed to communicate Liberia's position.
No, but Liberia's position communicate.
So I'm not supposed to be asking.
It's not just talking.
So Brown,
that would be gross insubordination if he speaks on his own. It could.
Did a recall, So the Brown has communicated Liberia's position. Liberia is saying to America that you move on to disintegrate and weaken the strength of the Security Council or the International Criminal Code to prosecute U.S. men. We not agree. We stand by the Rome Convention, the Rome Treaty, that allows the prosecution of anybody.
My man, we have a lecturer at the Foreign Service School. He taught us Liberia diplomacy from 1847 to present, right? The history of Liberia diplomacy.
Yeah.
And every time we did, from regime to regime, the shift and everything, the issues that happened, blah, 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 how they were resolved, blah, blah, the position that were taken, the Morocco side, all of those things, he will come back and tell us that as a diplomat in Liberia, as a leader in Liberia, America first. And so now some young people now, some people adapt these radical position and all of that. You think you can argue everything to a certain level, that not everything you can argue. And it's not so for the debate's sake, Sonny, but you finish, you say, gentlemen, America first. America first. So this has been like a consistent position. There can be rough diplomatic edges, but at the end of the day, it boils right back to America.
Yeah.
And we do not apologize for that. We should not even apologize for that, because it's about our interests. And where our interests are protected and aligned, right, historically, along all the different spheres in our history as a country, we have to remain. And it has been mutually beneficial for the country. You may not be able to understand the extent to which Liberia has benefited from America. It will take a whole class to explain that. The layman, he sees these things just from the surface. Oh, when you see the other one, but it goes beyond that. So when we see these kinds of change in position, for us, we're worried. We may not be able to understand the actual intent because we're not in the head of the crafter.
We can easily assume
exactly what is going on,
and the ramifications, associated.
And yesterday I talked something. I am concerned that with the traditional relationship between America and Liberia, that we'll still be having, a sachet affair all this period.
Yesterday.
Just yesterday we were talking about it. I am concerned. Somebody needs to explain that to me. Why is Washington not seeing the urgency based on the strength of our relationship and ties, right, to assign a permanent, ambassador here up to now? They need to say that, because as an interim, sachet, you can operate to a certain level.
You have restrictions.
So then why? So we're operating at a certain level. So most time when I see statement coming from there, oh yeah, something, but at the end of the day, why are we not getting the ambassador to come?
And this is strange. This is unusual for a Shashi affair to have a Shashi affair for this long period of time here is unusual. You know, I mean, during transition, you will see maybe 1-2 months.
Mhm.
Yes, and then a permanent ambassador is assigned. But so
Malu said they
I was
have a
talking-
press conference later, and
Okay.
then so they plead that they will address they want to
all of
say
the
things,
issues, yeah,
all of
I
the
had a
issues.
press conference. Okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So, and we have to be careful as a country. But I'm Yanti. I mean, I'm on record for supporting her nomination. You know, as ambassador, because we know it was not about her.
Oh yeah, remember we all went
Yeah.
against our friend
Yes,
Martin. I
Martin.
know Martin personally,
Sure.
schoolmate and all of that.
So it was not about her, but probably her physical and her academic, capacity or intellectual or diplomatic intellectual prowess that she may have or may have brought or not have. It was about her experience. It was about her experience. On the basis of that, we assume that she's supposed to have a clear understanding about what global governance is supposed to be about and how you align your domestic interest in the international community. What is Liberia's interest about security and maybe all of that? How does going against America's position on this subject align with Liberia's security interest or security priorities? Let's look at the impact of the US. Liberia is stable today. Today, Liberia is politically stable. Today, Liberia has the security network is where it is today because of America. You don't want to argue that. Then America is telling you we feel threatened by the existence of this structure, of this governance structure. We, America, we feel threatened, we feel uncomfortable by the existence of this governance structure. As a result of that, we are revealing our we are making our intentions clear that we are going to do everything, and that was officially communicated through the Secretary of State, that we are going to do everything within our capacity to ensure that we dismantle or disintegrate this global governance structure that we believe does not align with our interest. Liberia now, who is a beneficiary of America's protection, of America's friendship, of America's alliance, goes to align with countries who do not even share the same security interests and say we stand against America's decision. America said, this is our interest, we want to protect our interests.
Yeah, man.
Then Liberia, we stand against it, we're going against it.
Our list was more invitation
Yes.
than we're looking for now.
Now when they say when they ban, you just chase enough visa restriction or visa ban.
Yeah.
Because look, America is the US is clear. Once you do not align with their interest, they disconnect. Either they will publicly say A or they will strategically disconnect from you.
Why are you putting all in?
Why are you putting us in the kind of unnecessary disasters?
And overtly, the Americans don't look,
No.
like
People-
opposite with
No.
your government. The relationship is not like the past time when that former ambassador was here.
Yeah.
You're having a good ride from the look of things.
We'll have a conversation in one of our classes about how the international community, especially the United Nations, how they structure their vision, their plan. So 15 years. So we're sharing for how Liberia, for example, will come. You have a 6 year in power. Eddie will come for 6 years. They already have sustainable.
I mean, you're talking about the UN.
Yeah, the UN. You have 15 years plan. You come, you align your plan. 6 year plan with the US. I mean the UN.
UN goal.
Cool. After 6 years, another person takes over. This shift. The UN have to go and readjust to align or to absorb, accommodate your plan, your interests, your priorities. We're not aligning with the international interests. I mean, international plans. The plan up there to govern the country, to govern the world. We're shifting from one point to another point, from one point to another point. The government cannot be. I'm not into. And the president just had a meeting just from Turkey. You see the relationship America tries to build with Turkey on the same security front. So what was really discussed in Turkey with the president? What really discussed? How does Liberia standing with the Rome Treaty? How does that affect? How does that benefit our country? Security wise, economic wise. Now, our position in our interest in the US and China have, I think, about 21 or 22% contribution to the IMF and the World Bank. The IMF. Liberia look up to the IMF for a lot, for almost everything, and the World Bank. Imagine it was because of America today our debt Liberia reached HPA completion. Because America, I think, about 16 or 17% in Liberia's debt. This is okay. It's 18% we have. Waive it. IMF waive it. Liberia was able to reach HPA completion. Your interest must align. You can be a major player in the global governance sector, and you're not concerned about your interest. You think global governance is that intellectual thing? They're not intellectual thing. That interest, competing interest. Then you go sit down on the table to negotiate or to talk, to push your to talk instead of pushing your interest, taking side that will align your interest with other countries, with your partner's interest. They say no, we will intellectualize. Me, I can read from Grand Bazaar and how to read.
Maybe they have.
I will read a statement.
No, sometimes maybe they have identified new frontier. And, you know,
for me to take it more.
Yeah, maybe they have. You can't just say it, but and, the government has rekindled a kind of relationship with China, and it's going smooth. The ride is smooth. Not in a way to turn its back entirely, as far as I know, on the US. I think they are doing a dual kind of approach. Yeah, handling the Chinese thing and at the same time handling the American things.
Yeah, the wife and the permanent girlfriend.
Yeah, but in the midst of that too, and, I'm still struggling to understand what comes into all of the decision at the end of the day for the permanent rep to be making these utterances. The last time he did something again, it was a vote on the Israeli situation. And then they voted against.
He condemned
the U.S., right?
Condemned the U.S. attack.
And after that, we saw all the different restrictions. Liberia was being designated for visa this, visa that, blah, blah, blah. And now this is where we are.
And the DV, the facility visa thing was
cancellation or suspension happening and all these things. So, and the latest one, and they won, as far as I know it, right? Because the thing is, America is engaged in combat, right? And so the war is watching, and the RCC have got reason to believe that some of the atrocity violates human rights. So America is clear, and to give further assurance to servicemen, to give them more protection. This is the reason why the foreign secretary is adapting this approach to say that, look, the thought of being accountable or pursue shouldn't enter your head.
Yeah.
We're a sovereign country. We're taking actions to defend the integrity and the sovereignty of our country. So you're taking all to do that. Go ahead. We are not subject to any statute. We did not sign or ratify any statute, and we are clear. So if the RCC is acting to undermine our sovereignty, we are committed to dismantling the RCC. This is America's position. You got to understand America's position. And then you lead there, you say you the spokesman for the war. You say, we stand with the RCC, we'll make sure we'll do that one, we'll do.
Make it read, man.
Yeah. John Jay can read.
Yeah. Gassi there. Louis Gassi there. They make it read.
Yeah, well, Papi. I don't know what his junior boy had, my man. We used to be in school together. But, you know,
but being real, I enjoy the reading, man.
He's a fluent,
no president
reader
has so desecrated and diminished
as an independent and impartial judicial institution. We reiterate our strong commitment to upholding and defending the principles and values enshrined in the Rome Statute, safeguarding its integrity against any threats or actions aimed at the court.
Safeguarding
against any actions
or threat
aimed at the court. So what
is direct.
Is direct at the court, aimed at the court.
Do we manage to stay in defense?
And you defining American action as an aggression,
yes,
and threat aimed at the court. Yes. This is diplomacy, and I like. I mean, and this is why you're gonna get the best on this show whenever international and diplomatic conversations are held, because the both of us now, Austin has already enrolled in reading international relations and all that. So, yeah, so we're able to look at it from, a position of strength and a bit of knowledge in the subject. So, the choice of words, I mean, diplomats don't fight with guns.
No,
fight with wars. Tell you clearly, you see the language, you know what's up.
Did he have to be the one reading the statement? Did he have to be?
The same thing he did with something again. They put so we'll go to Liberia to read this. He goes stand there. Yeah. That me can read. I'm from Grand Bassa country. I can read by everybody. You'll bring it. Read the statement.
And this is beyond Mr. Bwakana. This is about us.
It's affecting us.
This is about us.
But under the structure, this message should be endorsed and approved by the president.
Yes.
Before he delivers.
So we can assume. He assume. If I conclude that the president.
Not even assumption, but we can conclude. We know fully well this is the position of the government until otherwise. And if that otherwise comes, then that means Lisbon will be on the next flight back to Monrovia. Other than that, this is where the government stands. This is and in diplomacy, reciprocity.
Yeah, we spoke about that yesterday.
Yeah, you understand. So
if you don't support me, I will not support you. Support me, I support
that it will come. So we don't know how the American own reaction will be.
Yeah. You can just jump on there, endanger the entire country, your citizens, by your representation or authority or your decision. Your decision is supposed to support us. I mean, it's supposed to protect us. It's supposed to be in our interest.
And sadly, we're not really an accountable regime. But by where they're supposed to come and explain to us why they're taking this position. But when you ask them, they'll say, "Oh, not accountable," but you're supposed to tell the country why they appears like a shift. So how do we prepare ourselves? How do we reposition ourselves to understand that this is why our country is beginning to shift in this manner, right? And then at that point, now we start to prepare ourselves psychologically for the consequences, the aftermath effects, and all of that. But no, would I be sitting maybe after some months, because America has control over when she will act, how she will act. So when we start to see it, so those are all critical. When we see it, we'll do retrospect and say, "Oh, this is happening because of this," and then the government will come and say they will issue that. That's when they will issue statement. No, this one ain't got nothing to do with the government and the blah blah. You can't keep scheming on the country.
And to say face, Louis Bama just be recalled. To make it appear like he spoke on all by himself. Yeah, But I mean, this is an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment. It's a complete embarrassment. It's a shame, in fact. It's shamefully embarrassing that our country, our government decided to take sack.
The American pushing with the cocaine investigation, because that was the escrow revenues, and then the police said no, they want you to stop it. So
the two biggest players, the two biggest players on the global governance front are the Americans and the Europeans. Liberia just declared the European ambassador to our country, personal no grata.
Yeah, they say they didn't reach that stage.
We now,
or, you know, they say
that's why,
but no, technically,
I was like, yeah,
we already know. what's
no,
up.
yeah, that's what I did. You create how we don't want you. If I leave our country, move in my house.
That PNG right there.
Yes. So when you send your PNG to the Europeans, you think Europeans say, okay, no problem. They never review what happened. What you say? They almost say the vice president is too much involved with the mining sector and the operations at the airport.
Mhm.
She didn't speak all by herself.
How many cables?
There were cables, yeah, exchanges. So you didn't did they say, hey, we get you PNG, go. Yeah, you can argue it. They will call you. But they'll send another person. So Liberia now is at loggerhead with the Europeans and the Americans. Because we get a new girlfriend called Channeling. Chanelina. Liberia get a new Jew called Chanelina. So we okay now. We can fight the Europeans, we can fight the Americans, and then we can sit down with our
Chanelina. Watching means to put out 1 billion people.
Yeah, it's risky. It's risky. It's embarrassing for us. I mean, Liberia has a lot to lose. A lot to lose. We're one of the biggest African beneficiaries from the US aid. Directly and indirectly. You go to the World Bank, like America there. The Europeans, that money there. You go to the IMF, the Americans and the Europeans, that money there. Look at our fishery industry. The biggest contributor to our fishery industry here are the Europeans. Like we still market the largest. We still hold the largest, the biggest tuna reservoir in West Africa, I'm told, or the second. The Americans consume. The Europeans are the highest consumers of tuna fish. You see your interest? So you need their money. You need their assistance. Yes, they need your fish. They can get your fish anyhow they want to get it anyway. They came here and give you boats. All the boats the Europeans were sending here, that to enhance your capacity to fish more, to make more catches. They will come back. But you didn't have capacity to even you do not have the capacity to maximize your potential, to manage your own resources. So they have to enhance your capacity. So they come in and spend that 13 million, that 37 million, that 47 million just at NAFA to enhance your capacity because they need the fish. They say, we don't want you, we'll follow you. America said they pose serious threat to our interests, our servicemen. We'll do everything to disintegrate them. The people say we disagree, we stand in defense of the RCC against America. Yeah? That about brave one. That means the bravest bastard I've ever seen. But when we get tired everything to hear anyway, Liberia will say Liberia. Liberia is brave. I thought Liberia is brave or Liberia is ignorant. Yeah. Then when I don't see it as bravery, I see it as the highest degree of ignorance or blunder. If we get a young one to sour your smoke, you say you made a mistake. Probably they didn't follow anything. They don't know. They didn't follow America. They didn't know the U.S. interest, or they didn't care to know. All the people can see 14 down, they can vote on the basis of interest. Going get nothing to do with America, Benin. They see the countries. See the countries we're talking about here. Let me get the countries. So the countries we're talking about and see what kind of interest they get in America compared to Liberia. Just sit down and issue statement. We don't worry, we'll soon take course. We'll soon take course. We'll soon take course. What do we brand thing? Somebody said Louis Brown. I said Louis Brown. Yeah, but we said the same thing now. Louis Brown didn't speak all by himself. We said that.
But diplomacy is not a play where you be speaking off your head.
No, you see me really.
Even if a sentence was not approved, you put it inside your get account of that. Why? If you just author anything, because when you do it, you gotta send it, and then the minister will see it, and then of course the minister will brief the president, and then if they got to add, minus, subtract, but it must be aligned with the president's vision and the president's desire. Because you messenger now, and
Côté les people say I see. We can take calls, eh?
sure.
Oh yeah. Okay. So say I'll begin tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow's right? Tomorrow's birthday is tomorrow, July 2nd. Your birthday for the protest day. Well, like to say happy birthday to you and all of those celebrating. Okay. So this is what I'm trying to get. Okay. So these are the countries that Liberia follow: DR Congo, France. Yeah, France and America still not. They're still battling on some critical issues. Latvia, Colombia, Greece, Panama, the UK, Liberia, Denmark. These are countries that all of the countries here are having interest issue with the US right now. You know, the UK say that will go for we not Israel. Our hand there. France say the war you go for our hand there. See the countries, all of them. Greece, Colombia. Then Liberia join Israel. Men are speaking Liberia say, yeah, we. Liberia is the smallest amongst the countries here. So you a small child, go we. You know, we go in the hall, oh my, they go to the hall, one e-commerce. We call the small child, the small brother. Go tell that he's a one cook come. The small child go even. I want to come you. Coco Austin or Cotina. Tina go want to come for the show. Everybody believe. Everybody. Now man doing the Louis rally. You go to that opposition go really. Okay, 0776 104 104 0886 500 104. Liberia again in another part the US. Liberia said they not agree with the US position on the RCC. Tomorrow's protest is July 17th. We all will be out. If you will be out tomorrow, the police director has said that the executive mansion is a no-go zone for tomorrow's protest. So don't waste your time going there. All of these issues, he's clear that the executive mansion grant. You see the executive mansion grant. You see the executive mansion. You see the executive mansion grant. You see that play that no go soon for our protest on Friday. You see that no go soon. It's clear. So they will determine the executive mansion grant. You know, that whole executive mansion grant from Internal Affairs Ministry, when they run capital building there, and then let the mass area, and then put about the budget bureau sir. So that whole place will be barricaded tomorrow as usual. It's a no-go zone. And I think we should also urge our colleagues who will come out tomorrow to protest to also follow some of these instructions from the police. It's good that they've already said it's a no-go zone. Where you see barricade, disengage. In as much that we 100% support the protesters to come out tomorrow to protest, is right. Once the police say, they will not say you will see the barricades. Once you see the barricades, disengage. Do not engage the barricades. Follow your leaders tomorrow. Say, let's go so. Yeah. Because the intention is to express our grievances, our displeasure.
And the organizers have to have their own, I don't know, any kind of parallel, but you got to get people watching so that infiltrators will not be the one provoking.
Yes.
Being planted to
intentionally engage,
intentional to go where they say shouldn't go.
Yes.
Then, and of course, most of the guys, most of the reporters out there, will not be able to, and most times the way the commentary go, and you can blow things out of proportion. Most of the young guys, holding the camera will be like, well, it's before you understand the real facts, they've already threw out.
Because everybody leaders of the protest. There's a leader here. There's an individual who is believed to be one of the leaders of the protest.
They will not even ask you, not talk to you. They will assume that you're a leader because one or two times hear you somewhere and say, okay. And they'll start to make conclusion. I mean, this is something that we too, as media owners, will have to, or media leaders, will have to orientate the young media colleagues about, as to, protest coverage. It has its own jargons and languages. It's guided by certain things that you have to understand. You have to read. Take time, you read a little bit and understand. And so you get there, try to verify, because it's tensional. As you say something that is not, because everybody's sitting there on the edge. It could just ignite another thing and take the thing to a whole different level. And people want to be sensational, even at the critical point where life are in danger.
You don't want to use your words or your attitude, your words to provoke.
On protest, life are in danger. And sometimes you are the one there, and you're sending out your commentary, and you're something like when the Vandala Patrick protest happened that time, and you could see what they, especially the guy that was behind the Spoon TV stuff, and you could just tell that, everything that was going on. But again, this is where we are. This is how polarized the society has become. We accept it, and one day we'll get better.
So one day it will get better. We are here. My name is Austin Kawai. Abu Sharif is here, and it's a time to talk. We've been talking since 7:35. It's 25 minutes or so to 10 o'clock. We have enough time to talk on all of the issues. Executive Mansion tomorrow. Executive Mansion grant is a no-go zone for the protesters. So says Police Inspector General. You heard a permanent representative to the United Nations, Louis Brown, disagreeing, expressing Liberia's disagreement or disposition to the position of the U.S. government on the International Criminal Code. You also listened to what we spoke about with Sekou Doumbouya's involvement in the arrest and incarceration of the spokesperson of tomorrow's protest for the massacre. So we can talk all of the issues. We spoke also about the Ministry of Youth and Sports canceling the game in the U.S. due to the mass denial of visa for Liberian players and officials. But we also spoke about the need to account for accountability after the denial, the cancellation of the game. Accountability is next. We want to know how monies that were released or raised were spent, on this protest. On this for this program. The organizers, so those who invested cash, materials. I'm sure they're interested in accountability issues. So let's take us on the debate issue.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mandela calling from Oro, and we are in the cooking report of the United Party. Yeah, you said you saw the last. The Chinese had their protest here, and they saw what happened between the President Wiyaso. They want to protect their interest. Even that they don't sell it the last time, we protect our interest. So I'm assuming that from the experience of President Wiyaso, that's why they are doing this. It's not Louis Brown first time doing it. The last time when they told us America against the permanent stay in America. You see it? Because Louis Brown went, they gave a statement to him. You see, he read it. That's the same thing they are doing now. Louis Brown continue to put us in this country.
So what do you think? Is good for the country or not good for the country the way he spoke?
But it is not good for the country, I'm saying. That's a first. that the time he spoke, when he did and gave his statement, he went and spoke against America again, and he said, Lord, America said that no citizen from here will go and live in America. Only you do visit. You see, who accepted? He accepted us in that period. So this year said, Louis Brown drew America spoke to directly the Baka administration he executed.
Okay.
But the Louis Brown is putting on the danger, and the citizens, they are suffering.
All right. Thank you very much. You've made your points. Let's hear another caller. Good morning.
Morning, brother.
Morning.
Yeah, Jefferson slept back for the reduced because they show number 11. No, what going on now is when you have government that is not organized, that what can happen, anybody can act on their own as the president. What they doing today, it is more. Yesterday, they saw the West for the past government, nobody run after them. And he said, you go and we won't pay near, right? They won't pay except that bra for the part time now to get less than here and down now. The manipulate all that thing and today, we won't pay it out. Well, we're talking, you don't go and say, oh, they am a character, and today your character important. They could stop. They could do your stop. Why you're doing the country? The country cannot belong to people. Thank you.
Thank you very kind. Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
This is FXC on Rototown, single estate.
Go ahead.
I want to turn on the issue of the drug.
Mm-hmm.
$19 million drug. You know,
Abu, conversation.
Abu.
Yeah.
The president visited to Turkey. You people, the journalist, renowned journalist, don't know why he went for. Turkey is one of the countries in the Middle East. It's one of the countries that's going all over the world. It's a drug cartel.
Don't use our show to be talking to PPT or say alleged, please.
I wonder what you're talking there. Please, good morning. Good morning. We can talk about politics more. I say, other people country. We can talk about other people country. And, you know, we have the facts. At least when you say, how you call it, Mexico, this one, that one, there are plenty of reports, and, you know, about those things. Good morning.
Good morning, friends and family.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning. Abu and my man. How you doing this morning, my brother?
We're fine. Thank you.
Thank you for the talking point. I just want to share on two issues on the Louis Brown issue first.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard someone say similar thing he did during the WIA administration. Yeah, they did nothing wrong, but for me, I think I have a different approach. What he did during the WIA administration was deliberate because he was already undermining the administration to get it out. That was why he was recalled. What he did now is done collectively, but because, like you said, they got a Chinese girlfriend now, and they feel that the American is not ready dancing to their tune. So that is a error that this government continue to threaten the citizens and put them in more difficulty by going against the United States. I think wrongly, I never call my name calling for a whole community.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Secondly, excuse me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, secondly, the government, let the people know that you're not going to table anywhere. I see they're trying to restrict the process tomorrow. And two of you in the studio, you are just care for human life, that why you're telling us to follow the police restriction. But on a serious note, no democratic one, police not going to dictate to us where we go. Because the very police part of the government is a regime police.
Yeah, no, the police will stand to their side, you'll stand to your side. Simple.
And they want to be that the side we want. Because our concern is the executive mansion. That is the side we want. They don't need to tell us where side we go. We are telling ourselves this country belongs to us. We need to move wherever we want to move. Yeah, we should move peacefully. And this president, we want to engage. And giving our petition. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Abu.
Morning.
Good morning, Austin.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I'm Pastor Emmanuel T. Cooper. I come from Bonneville District 11, precisely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to commend you guys for the brilliant knowledge.
Oh, Pastor Cooper, I don't know what's happening with your line. I think there's a network failure there. Good morning. Network issue. The MTA $150 employee who's in care. Let's hear you.
You know, salary. Oh,
Yeah, is it the man at $150 giving when they take taxes from there and you get $130? Who's in? Like you pay that? Sorry for calling you on the radio, but go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, Mr. Sherry, good morning, and good morning to you, Austin.
good morning.
Yes, I call from the back of the National Transit Authority.
You janitor?
So, gentlemen, thanks for the program. I mean, I'm
Man,
a
leave that
private
thing and go straight to your point. If I hear somebody who say you want a question
so,
you call for.
My concern has to do with the protest tomorrow. Yes, I have now heard from some of the organizers. You know, actually, what we do, we normally contribute to some of these processes because it's democratic. So I don't know whether we can get some of their number have $1,000 to contribute towards the water.
$1,000 what thing? US?
Yeah, like $11. I said like $11, my man.
But you go eat Kobo, you hungry, you're gonna get somebody.
My man, so
you know
no, my man, what I can do. What I can do is my week wage. So
put there, say you can say $1,000. You don't even eat the money.
Oh, my man, what I can do is my week wage. So I
We'll see. We got more important people to contribute to our show. The money, begging you. Let's hear you, my brother.
Hey, good morning. My name is Charles C. calling from Alaska. I'm interested in what Louis Brown said. I don't know if you guys can recall. All these things have to do with China, because one of the requirements for the overpower breach is for Liberia to go against every form of United States. Any United States, Liberia to go against it. That was the requirement of building that breach. You guys can do your research. You'll see what I'm talking about. So what Louis Brown doing is all organized and planned. So that's my contribution.
Thank you. That good thing. That good strategy they're using. America big. You don't put on the laser. You don't put. That's not President Barack doing. We don't. I mean, don't put all there. The thing that Louis Brown don't put all there. Isa o US o America if that anything our Isa o so that Joseph Braga thing, that Louis Brown thing, that Sarah Beslow Yantis thing, that government officials in that government position with the citizens we not agree.
Listen to the call.
We not agree.
We agree with that position. We stand firmly behind America, and we believe America will not take to the whole.
No.
And where America going to lead, bro, is going to be at a safe place. America will always take us to a safe place. So we want to remain behind America lead. Get behind China, they get 1 billion people Kenya on their head. Along the line, they look at the area to turn it back. But America will always keep there no matter how rough it becomes. America will not sit down and ain't no thing happening. They'll be the first responder.
They've always been.
They will always be the first responder. So if we are talking breach, America has built several infrastructure for this country. Several infrastructure that kept this country running before where we are, and somebody to come and build breach.
And that's the problem here. What is America do? So because they China kind of say China will build the overhead bridge.
Yeah.
China will send their contractors and come and build the bridge. So you see visibility. For them, that's their own. That's the propaganda or the publicity strategy. We want the city to see ourselves there doing the work. America say, for us, we believe in diplomatic engagement, right? So we channel our money through World Bank and IMF to support Liberia. We set conditions that it is
nobody's contributing to healthcare more than America.
No.
Nobody's contributing to education more than America. Nobody's contributing to agriculture more than America. Nobody's contributing to sanitation, electricity, water.
MCC you celebrating the federal government celebrating MCC company.
So if your argument is America now for Liberia, you just need to take time to understand.
So I think I'll be careful. So, folks, we can take maybe two on our two major numbers, and the WhatsApp number. Yes, you send me the text. The WhatsApp is on. Probably the calls coming in. That's but the WhatsApp is It's +231 86 500 That's the WhatsApp number. So we can take maybe 1 or 2 calls and then we go home. Yeah, we got time to take few calls. So those are the issues, and then we are being told that let's take the call first before we say that. Good morning.
Oh, thank you very much, King, and thanks to my Allah for the credit discussion in this morning.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the recognition for the public. Now, join this morning for unknown destination heading to the police station to release Macombre of Holy Batakway.
You are calling from an unknown destination.
Unknown destination heading to.
But you are heading to the police station.
Yeah.
Why are you calling from an unknown destination?
So you come and get to unknown destination because the police is unknown.
Of a critical force arrested or only basis of doing nothing.
Okay, that's why you always calling from an unknown destination.
What our law, our government is butcher.
Yeah, winner. So you are calling from an unknown destination for fear that you may be arrested or targeted, right?
I'm calling from an unknown destination because the law have been butcher.
So you are inhaling.
I'm not inhaling, but the law have been butcher.
Okay, go ahead. I want to know, but go ahead.
No problem. Okay, we should make Parker to be retrospective.
Parker.
He is not the only president of this country. Say the country was funded. They have president of bravery. President of.
Why you let BB Ward in it?
Come again?
Why you let BB Ward?
Because BB Ward, I said Parker should be very retrospective.
Okay.
But not B Ward. What am I asking? Why you love BB Wars?
No, for him, they go to him, Parker. I think he will only tell it because he said he got.
No, but the old man need to understand. The old man need to understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
No, but listen, Parker. There's an audience here listening to you that wants to understand what you are communicating.
We want to take Parker back. We want to carry Parker back to the historic city.
Okay.
This country.
Abu saying.
Yeah, we want to carry Parker back. We want to remind him back.
Okay.
But anyway, as I said earlier, Parker has to be very perspective of now he's the only president in the country was funded. Parker, they have people of justice. They have people of Samakayadu. And they were in the scene, they could demon and they see clandestine behavior of feel that they are vindictive. Today, where are they? We are telling Mr. Parker, to conclude, you have to build ministry of tomorrow. Arresting our comrades, they will not put stop to our agitation. They will not put stop to our people going on a cookie state. And we are very fair away. So tomorrow we are coming on and you must build ministry, and you must get many labyrinth that is taking charge of the cooking behavior. The new along with the Cheku Double, along with the Pepper, we are coming for you tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, the man who calls from an unknown destination is coming for you tomorrow. Okay, Abu, I think we can conclude on this note.
Certainly we can, and I think it's been a great time covering the week with you on these very interesting national conversations, and this is something we remain very committed to. We want to thank you all for your support, and we want to thank you all for being there, and the listening role, the contributions it has always been a backbone of the work we do here. We're gonna be here next week. Of course, it's just very, very certain that tomorrow is protest. We're gonna be there to bring you everything as they will be unfolding. To ensure that the narrative is not spin in a way. So we'll try our best to be there. Until we see you, do have yourself a wonderful time, and bye bye from my end. Thanks a lot.
Even though Abu was saying bye bye, your text just came in late. Somebody was asking whether you would provide live coverage like you did in Grange there.
Management, will decide. So
y'all want to put away arrested, man.
Yeah, management will have to. Once management does the needful, certainly will be there to do what we can.
So James, you have your answer. Once management does the needful, Abu providing live coverage of tomorrow's protest. Act will be there. Together we can call our government's attention to our challenges. Thanks to all of you for listening and watching. We are taking our weekend's break. To be back Monday. So until we see you on Monday, my name is Austin Kawa Abu Sharif. We'll see you. Bidding you farewell. Bye bye. Ayo.